Hi everyone, welcome to the live stream. Tonight, well my tonight at least, we are going to be covering the launch of Figma Advanced. Hooray! It is finally out right now, live on Bring Your Own Laptop. It's exclusive there for a little while, so check it out. Today we're going to cover what's in the course, what's new. Okay, so it's a full remake of an old course. We'll also cover what's happening at Bring Your Own Laptop, and then we'll get to some Q&A. It's live. You're here live. Generally, not many people ask questions, so this could be your chance to get your questions answered live. It could be about Figma, it could be about design in general, anything really you want to ask me. Throw it into the chat, and my helpful Taylor will grab it and throw it in my dock right here. He is right there grabbing questions now, so throw it in there. So first of all, it's the Figma Advanced course. So let's talk about who it's for. It is for people who are either self-taught in Figma, and you've got quite far, but you know there's loads more buttons you haven't clicked and doing it the long way, potentially. It's also for people who've done the Figma Essentials course. This is like the next step on from that. Okay, so if you finish that course, that's where you'll start off in the Figma Advanced course. The first thing is Black Friday is super duper close, and we'll be having a sale. So I was like, can I give them the sale early? So that if you aren't a Bring Your Laptop member, you're like, all right, today's the day. I've been impressed by Dan's course. I want to go do it. You can use the coupon code BF2025. I think it might have to be capitals, but BF2025. Don't tell anybody else. It'll only go live later in the week, so you'll be in early for 30% off. So do that if you want to. There's 108 lessons. It's like 9 hours. It's 9 hours and 1 minute. I'm not sure why that's stuck in my brain. Long. Okay. What else? There are a bunch of quiz questions. There's class projects so you can follow along. And we built something. You get the random project generator. Okay, so you get something unique for your own portfolio. Okay, so it's not just following along with me. You get to build something on your own that's ready to go as as a project for your portfolio. There are certificates as well. So if you're new to Bring Your Own Laptop, if you do the course, you can get a pass, merit, and a distinction. Let me quickly show you what they look like because they're pretty. Let's have a look here. So I'm going to switch to this one. I don't go in the corner. Oh, I want to be in the corner. Oh, well, imagine me in the corner. Okay, so we've got 3 levels. The pass certificate is if you watch all the videos, okay, and you complete the class project. So it's not even, if you see somebody with the Bring Your Laptop certificate for Figma Advanced, okay, it's not just a matter of like watching the videos and skipping along, okay? You actually have to complete the class projects, not homework, fun things to do, okay, to practice your skills. And if you do that and answer the quiz, okay, the quiz is there to kind of help you understand, wrap your head around what we're doing. Okay, I use it after videos where I'm like, oh, that's a good point. Okay, do that. You can get the merit certificate as well. And then the big one, the distinction. Oh, can I show you them? Oh, okay, so pass, merit, distinction. And if you do the distinction, okay, you can get the distinction certificate, okay? And the distinction is different from the other 3 because you do everything for the merit, but then there's a last class project. This is exclusive for Bring Your Own Laptop, okay? You can't get this anywhere else. It is like a mini project, okay, at the end to put everything together to build something really unique for yourself, okay? And kind of, yeah, get the distinction project certificate. And let's switch back to me, headshot. All right, and what we'll do is I'm going to go through a little bit about what's updated in the course. If you haven't seen or done the Figma Advanced course, I just want to play you the intro video. It's very short. We'll watch it together. Okay, I'll be in a little circle. I just want to show you kind of like the types of things rather than trying to flash through it. Okay, let's watch it together. It's super short. I'll show you. Ready? I'll be quiet. Hello. I'm Dan Scott, and this, my friend, is the Figma Advanced course. Now, this course is aimed at people who have either done my Figma Essentials course or you're self-taught. You're pretty good, but you know that there are so many more like tools and tips and tricks and workflows and updates that you just haven't had time to explore yet. If that sounds like you, this course is for you. Who's this guy? I am Dan Scott. I am a UX designer and Figma instructor. I've won multiple teaching awards, and I've helped more than 1 million people now, just like you, to become better designers. So we're not just gonna move boxes around here, we're gonna actually build something. You'll get your own unique project and persona, and by the end, you'll have a complete app ready to drop straight into your portfolio. First, we'll use AI inside of Figma to move fast. I'm talking real efficiency, the kind that saves you hours, not minutes. We'll go deep on auto layouts and constraints, stuff that separates amateurs from pros. You'll master components and variables so tight they're impossible to break and effortless to update. We'll add visual punch, effects, typography, and micro interactions that make your design stand out. I'll show you workflow hacks for managing your assets, grids, and styles like an absolute boss. And I'll show you some of the hardware that make you faster and make you look like you know what you're doing when people walk past your desk. Ooh, look at that. You'll use variables to build light and dark modes, compact and comfortable layouts. We'll go into advanced animation, masking, and video work, the kind of stuff most UX designers don't even realize Figma can do. You'll learn to run better user tests, prototype faster, and build things that feel real. You'll understand accessibility, collaboration, developer handoff using dev mode, refactoring, and team libraries like a pro. So, are you ready to become a Figma pro? If you are, sign up and get ready to go from Figma to a Figma superhero. I'm so funny. So that is that gives you kind of a sample of what you can expect from it. If you have done the course before, you're just wondering what's new in it. One of the big foundations is the UI changed significantly in the UI, so that matches that. The other ones are, there's a big chunk of AI options in there that are now part of Figma, and sometimes you can get a little bit AI, I don't know, does everybody have a little bit of AI fatigue? The cool thing about Figma is that they've only thrown in stuff so far that has been super useful for me in terms of like going faster. It's like some of the, one of the first things we cover is some of the AI to a prototype. Okay, so you can type in a prompt. Okay, what I find it really good for is you can type in a prompt and say, make me an app that does this, this, and this. What I find it useful for, it's not giving me something that I can use finished, but sometimes you're just like, man, how do I make this UI box or this component or this hero image or this kind of element? And you can type it in there and it will give you a version of it, and then you can style it or get inspired by it. Okay, it's a great way to get started. Some of the cool things are prototyping. You can just like grab stuff and say, make all the noodles go everywhere, and it just connects them all up, and you're like, whoa, there's a couple to change, but it's pretty amazing. The other things that are in it are Figma Sites. We just cover it briefly in the course. So Figma Sites is like an alternative for Webflow or something like that, where it's kind of more of a visual website building. So Figma on its own doesn't build websites, but it's the first step for designing them. Figma have launched Figma Sites, so we'll cover that and the kind of basics of that. We do Figma Draw, which is kind of like the Adobe Illustrator killer. It's pretty good. I'm going to do a YouTube video on it soon, just kind of comparing the two. It's amazing how far you can get in Figma doing kind of generic graphic design work, okay, with vectors within your Figma Draw feature. So I cover that a lot in the course. AI renaming layers is surprisingly good. Instead of just like frame 57, you can just grab a whole chunk and say rename them. It does some magic there. Accessibility has been upgraded inside of Figma, okay? Not AI, but it is a way, color contrast is in there, okay? Kind of built in now, new grid system. It's built into like ChatGPT writing, so you can grab whole chunks of things and say, generate text to fill in placeholder text. It's pretty amazing. We cover the some of the hardware that I use, okay? Fancy Figma keypad here. And I guess the big thing is, should I redo the course if you've done it before previously? Okay. Or, you know, should I not? Okay. What I would do if I was you, if you've done the course recently, you're like, oh no, there's a new version of it. I would skim through it. It's a brand new course, brand new class project. So you could redo it to refresh, but I just skim through all of the new updates. Okay. And just kind of get up to speed with those. And if you haven't done the Figma Advanced course, we cover all the kind of like standard stuff like I did in the video. So a lot of like advanced auto layouts and variables and variants, all the kind of tricky stuff that can be troublesome if you don't know how to use them. They're quirky the way that they work. Hopefully I explain them nice and clearly in the course. A big thank you for the, first of all to you, the Figma Advanced course had loads of comments, asked for you to review the outline. Thank you for making this a better course. Also, thank you to the editing team, Taylor, Jason, and Stefan. okay, really helped get this course together. I finished this course, my hard work is done, their hard work gets it to you. So thank you guys. The certificates are there. Remember, ask the questions now. Okay, there's a few coming through, but not that many. So throw them in the live stream. I'm going to answer them in a second. Okay, so get them in there. Just a reminder as well, if you are thinking of joining Bring Your Laptop and you're not a member, okay, or you're going to sign back up, Black Friday is just around the corner. And I know there's a sale just waiting there. And I'm like, I can't really, I'm going to bring it here and give it to you, okay, for only the people watching this live stream. Okay, so don't tell anyone else. It is BF2025. Okay, if you put that coupon code in when you sign up, you get 30% off. You're welcome. Quick little thing. I want to cover what's coming up and Bring Your Laptop while you get your questions together. Just, yeah, give you a sense of what we're doing. So I'm making finished Figma Advanced now. I'm going to make a few YouTube videos, okay, kind of going around Figma and some of the AI changes at the moment. We've got a new course on Bring Your Own Laptop called Blender, which is killing it, by Robin. Check that course out. There's a new one that's going super well. Also coming up, we've got DaVinci and Procreate. Okay, brand new courses coming up in a few months. Other ones that are getting full updates are InDesign and Photoshop. So those are coming soon as well. Also After Effects. I know, After Effects is getting a big update. Well, let me know in the comments as well what courses you would like to see next from me and Bring Your Laptop. I saw somebody with Cinema 4D in there. Okay, that got added to my list. Let me know in the comments now. Taylor will grab them. What courses would you like us to see? Figma Sites is one that I'm kind of thinking about. Do we do Affinity or anything else that you think? You're my help here to kind of figure out what we do next. I want what you guys want. I want what's, you know, popular in the industry. Also new things on Bring Your Laptop. We've got a brand new forum that's released. Okay, we have got, Adobe Max. I went to that last month. I'll just give you a quick snapshot of how that went. You might have seen Adobe Max. You might have heard about it. Maybe you haven't. It's a big conference Adobe puts on every year. It's like 15,000 people. It's massive. And people ask me, like, what do you do? Somehow I deliver, like I'm great. But like, it's pretty amazing how this whole thing works. I have to deliver a in-person lab. I'll show you, Stop talking, Dan. Show. Let's go over here. Let's go to these ones. Check this out. So this is me. That's tiny me at Adobe Max. Okay, and somehow I have to keep 100 people all on their own Macs following me in a live tutorial. It's doable. That's what I've learned, but it's tricky. This one was Advanced Illustrator. Okay, so it was like super advanced stuff. It's the stuff we cover in my Figma Illustrator, my Illustrator Advanced course. That is on Bring Your Own Laptop as well. You could sign up for that. Same discount code, BF2025. Okay, you can join my Illustrator Advanced, but it went great, except for the me dancing around stuff. But this is kind of like an insight. There's probably about, I don't know, 30 of these labs going on at the one time, okay, along with speakers and keynotes. And I stand up there like Steve Jobs, kind of wandering around trying to like keep everybody enthusiastic and on task. Super sensible. Let's have a look. So here you go. We take it through a full lab, and then sometimes, occasionally, where's the person? It's a weird place. These Mad Hatter people were wandering around. They just wandered into my lab, and she started seeing what I was doing. Anyway, so that's kind of how Adobe Max works. If you were a Bring Your Laptop student, you might have noticed, well, we reached out to a few of you from your Illustrator course, and we turned some of the student projects into stickers. Again, we brought them to Max. Oh my goodness, they were hot property. If I put them out, I kind of laid them out. Everyone from those 100 people all queued. They were very polite. Designers are very polite. They'd wait in this big queue to get your stickers. So I got to hand them out everywhere. It was super fun. There you go. That is Adobe Max. It is massive, bigger than this. It's just people are interested in what my lab looks like. That's what it looks like. All right, let's jump now to what are we up to now? Student question time. So I'm going to start these now. If you've got a question, throw it into the live stream, and I'll jump into it. Let's start with the first one. So Abraham, I took your Premiere Pro course 1.5 years ago. and now I make nice money out of it. That's more of a statement, not written by me. So I do a Premiere Pro course, both Essentials and Advanced. I'm so glad, Abraham, that it worked for you and just got start working. So I do love Premiere Pro course. It is a hard course. It is a hard software to learn. If you've ever opened up Premiere Pro and you're like, too hard, close, it is like that. Hopefully my Premiere Pro Essentials course will be that kind of bridge of like complicated technology to, oh my God, I love video editing. So Premiere Pro Essentials is on Bring Your Laptop as well. Let's go for Hakana. What about Udemy Advanced course? Will it be updated? It will. Okay, it follows on from this course. It's about 2 weeks from now. It'll be out there. So if you want it earlier, come to Bring Your Laptop. If you want to wait, it'll be on Udemy. It'll be the same price. It'll just be the updated course. You won't have to pay again. John, is the class badges available on Udemy? Unfortunately not. That's something that we've developed ourselves. Victoria Barradale, our amazing designer, has made our lovely badges. So if you're a member on Bring Your Laptop, okay, when you enter the badges, you get the little badge next to your name as well. So you can kind of see who's done what. So when you're sharing advice, you can kind of know who's done the course, who's not done the course, and who went the extra effort to get the distinction. You get the little wings on your badge. Chet Ravi, were you doing Affinity course? That's the hot topic at the moment. It's going to be a YouTube video that I'm going to release soon. It's one I'm going to be making this week. I'm going to go through my kind of like thought process of where Affinity is. So watch out for that here on YouTube. But yes, it's coming. Yes, Affinity has to be addressed. If you're not sure what Affinity is, it's basically an alternative for Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. Lately, they've packaged it in one product. Okay, Canva, you might have heard of that, bought Affinity and they've made it free. And they are, it's becoming super hot. So I think we'll wander over and check out. If I've been always tinkering with it to see kind of where it is and its popularity. Will you guys want it? So I think we might be there, but I got to gather my thoughts for my video this week. Spartacus, is there a media library or brand kit in Figma to help with collaborating on projects? 100%. So there's something called team libraries, okay, where you can create your own like design system or design specs and like CC libraries or something else. It's probably a little bit more advanced than that. Okay, it's a way of connecting things like you draw a button here. This is simplistic. Draw a button, add it to a library. Everyone has access to it. You can create that button to do multiple things through variants, and you can create this quite a complex button that everyone in the team has access to and pull from, and that you might have control of and nobody else does. They might have control of it. It's up to you. But yeah, it's called something called Figma Teams. Another one from Paul. Would you recommend a mobile dev who is kind of familiar with Figma to take? This would be perfect because like it depends. You probably, if you're a mobile dev, it depends on how far you want to learn. Go do the Figma Essentials course. That's recently updated. That's probably where you want to start for if you want to get a sense of what the designer's doing so that you can talk to them better, understand what they're doing, and maybe deliver your own work. That's what I do, Figma Essentials. Figma Advanced is quite complicated, not complicated, but it's the next step from that. So I wouldn't jump to Advanced, I do the Essentials first. Unless you're self-taught, unless you're like or okay around Figma already, then jump into the Advanced. That'd be perfect. Okay, but otherwise, Figma Essentials is what a developer would be best doing to get a really good sense of like what happens on the design side and to add that kind of certificate to your own like CV to say, not only am I a great developer, I understand and speak the language of designers as well. I can work with them for the handoff to make it super simple. Then you can start working in things like, you know, if you would love things to be labeled right, you want design tokens, you want, you know, everything kind of exported in the right kind of way, you'll be much better doing, you know, having understand Figma. There you go. Spartacus, another one. Any chance of Articulate Storyline course? I've never used it, so we're going to write that one down. I'm going to check it out. Another one from Spartacus. On the Essentials course, I had to screen record and upload links for projects. Is there an easy way, or can I upload MP4s? We don't accept MP4s natively. We require you to use Vimeo or YouTube just so that you own it and so that it's not just ginormous for the site. We get, yeah, we've got thousands and thousands of people doing the course, and yeah, it's just simpler for us to kind of take a link rather than just upload the MP4. But we don't, but that's your desire, right? And so we'll write that down and figure out, we'll talk to Malcolm, the developer, and just see how hard is that? It seems hard dealing with video on our side, but we'll see. Let's go. Jessica, course idea. AI for UX UI designers. How to get from flamingo to turtle. Jessica's watched my, what was it called? I rated a whole bunch of like designer jobs that are at risk of going extinct. And there was turtles at one end who aren't going extinct anytime soon. And there was flamingos who look great, but a little fragile. So that was kind of the scales there. So AI for UX UI designers, I would say we're not ready for like a full AI UX UI. I don't think we've got to any sort of maturity with it yet. And everything that we've got, say the AI features that I cover inside of Figma, even those are, yeah, they're helpful. They're definitely workflow helpful, but they're not a finished solution. You can easily see how better they could be. And that's Figma's job to kind of rush out and keep making them better. I feel like once I get some sort of closure on like what's useful and what's not, there's kind of like a little bit of throwing it against the wall and see what sticks with AI. And some of it you're like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, and it's delivered, you know, it just doesn't deliver on the expectations. So I feel like I'd be making it every 3 weeks. So I get what you mean. I do cover all of the AI features new in Figma in the Figma Advanced course, but I do get what you mean. It might be a YouTube video rather than a course, and it might just be like high level rather than the actual building it into a course. But thank you. MacMayan, is Figma Make included in the course? We don't do Figma Make in this course. So if you don't know, Figma, they call it Figma Design now. So Figma was just around. It was a prototyping tool for building, mobile and desktop apps and websites. Then they split it off and made FigJam, which is more a storyboarding, whiteboarding thing. Okay, like, was it Miro? Okay, then they made Slides, which is just like PowerPoint, and then they've made Sites, which is just like Webflow. We touch on that a little bit in the course, just to kind of give you an overview of it. It's one of those courses on the hot list of next things to do, Figma Sites. Figma Make is more of a, you prompt your way into making full coded websites. No, we don't cover that in the course. That's what it is if you're unsure, but no, we don't go into that. The course is already 108 videos. I was just like, man, to do Make justice, it's its own course. So we don't cover it in this one. So Scotty, I am 50 years old, in the industry for 30 years. Was made redundant 6 months ago, building my portfolio, nearly finished Figma Essentials. Where to from me, looking for some advice, old dog, new tricks. The fact that you're doing the Figma Essentials course, what you'll find is that, especially with, I find if I got to choose between somebody straight out of design school, as a UX designer, or Scotty, 50 years old, learning Figma, I would far rather be Scotty. Mainly because what you'll find is after you've finished the Essentials course and the Advanced course, the tools are actually not the problem. Like learning the tools, followed by a handsome instructor, that bit is easy. The hard bit is then talking the talk, talking with clients, managing stakeholders, and it's about taste. It is about storytelling. All of those things, Scotty, you will already have as being experienced for 30 years. That is the real benefit. Like that's the thing that you would pay for if I was 20, what did I finish university, 21, 22, come out of university. That's the stuff that took me 10 years to learn, whereas I think you can learn the skills of and the skills and the language of a UX designer a lot quicker and be a lot better sooner, because some of the real hard stuff is knowing how to run a job, run a client, manage. I work with UX designers, and like Victoria, our UX designer, she's brilliant because not only is she great with the tools, but she can kind of lead a project, figure out where the problems are going to be, get in front of them, communicate to the team. That's what makes a good UX designer, not so much the how to use Figma. You have to. It's like, being a graphic designer and not using Illustrator. Okay, there. That's my rant. I think you're in a good place, Scotty. And I think the fact you're doing the course, I think there's probably just I think it's probably you need to go through a few projects to pick up the language, pick up what's important, because those things have changes a little bit in UX design, where it's not as much storytelling, selling the idea as a designer. It's more about, it's a mixture of project management, but also brain going blank. It's hard to talk and rant for ages. There's no one there. I know you're all there, but I've lost my train of thoughts. Sorry, Scotty. It was a very important thing. One thing, and the second thing, can't remember. Hopefully it'll come back to me. Mahad, hey Dan, I am a front-end dev with 2 years experience, and now I want to switch to UI UX design. But I'm scared that there are not enough jobs out there for also my 2 years of programming would be wasted. That is a tricky question. There's two problems. Like front-end development is, you've got to pick one, I think. Well, what everyone's looking for is the unicorn, somebody who can both do the UI UX side of things, but also do the development stuff. So could you do it in parallel? You need to kind of like look inside yourself and see what are you going to be thinking about on the weekends? What are you going to be bothered listening to a podcast or going to a meetup about, and go that direction? Because I think you're early enough in your career that you will have a good understanding of development that you could become a really good UX designer because you have that experience. I wish I was better at front-end development because I would be a better UX designer, but that's 2 years I'm not prepared to commit to. So that is a tricky one. Jobs are hard in the creative industry. Kind of, I don't know, there's this, I don't know where you live. I just know it's hard for everyone everywhere in the kind of design space. And you just got to pick the one that you're passionate about, do that one. And it's hard to know where everything's going to be and which one's going to win in the end, because AI has out for developers, and there is not a huge amount of jobs for entry-level UX designers. But I think you could probably, if you could marry the two, that'd be the optimal route. Jessica, can you tell me more about the projects you have on the new Figma course? So this one's an event site for, it's an event site. It's mobile first. We do cover some desktop versions of it as well. We did desktop in the Essentials course. We do mainly in the Advanced course, we do mobile development. So it's mobile website / app, kind of juggle between the two. And really it's not so much you'll build a full project, but it's kind of like squeezing in all the different topics like variables and variants. And so the kind of final part of it there's a little bit of scope of you finishing it how you want to, okay? Because we want to build something nearly done and you tidy it up at the end to kind of make it fuller. But really, as part of the course, I'm trying to like get in all the different features, how we build these different cards, how do we do a checkout. So it is, an event ticketing buying system. Spartacus, is there a distinction project at the end of the course? There is. So there is a special one it's only on Bring Your Laptop. It's at the end of the course, and that's what gives you the distinction certificate. It's a project. It's kind of like it's a loose enough. It's kind of medium. It's tight, kind of loose brief where you could spend a day doing it, or you could spend a week doing it, depending on what you need it to do. Do you just need the certificate? Then you could spend a short amount of time. If you need the certificate because you need a portfolio piece, then you can spend more time. And it's kind of, what's nice about it is that if your portfolio's got holes in it, that's where you could, it's like sometimes you just need an excuse to do these things, and that's what would be great for it. Ardish, for someone who is new to UI UX designer aiming for a high paying job, what's the best way to stand out in today's saturated market, especially now that you can generate full website designs with a simple prompt? We're not at the full website design at simple prompt yet. It kind of looks good in demos. We cover this in the Figma Advanced course. What you'll find is that, it does it. Like you end up with this thing at the end that looks good, but doesn't solve the problem. So then you end up, I do it, like, I'm like, type in, get my prompt, and I get my app, and I'm like, awesome, accept. I've got this big line of accepts. And often I'm dealing with myself. So I'm not even dealing with a client. The client's not, it's too hard to tailor it in. So you still need a UX designer to kind of start pulling it apart, keeping the bits you like. Because what you'll find is UX design is partly about the craft, about making stuff, but it's mostly about making sure the brief is clear, making sure the timing and the deliverables are there, user testing. These things don't happen with AI prompts. So what was the question? There was another bit in there that was, aiming for a high-paying job. And I guess the high-paying job comes with experience. So that's the thing you need to rush around and grab early on in your career. And it's the trickiest one to get. It is not an easy road. What I know to be true about getting jobs is often the ones that are listed on the job sites, they're there, definitely apply for those, but often the jobs will come through referrals. So what you need to do is build your network, your LinkedIn network, your Behance network, your social media network, your Facebook network. It needs to be somebody who knows you, that likes you and likes the work you do. Often those are where the jobs will come. And I'd be trying to get jobs for small parts, supportive parts, so that people can get to know you and know your work ethic and the type of work you produce. And that's how I end up finding people is that I work with. We kind of like, they're on my periphery. I kind of know they're there. They're always around. They're busy. And when we've got something available, it's like, okay, could you do this small project for me? Oh, that was really good, actually. Could you also, and then you end up with experience, with a job, with something big stamped in your CV for the next project. Look, I'm working for Dan, and I'm doing these other things. It is, I'm not going to pretend it's easy though, because the whole relationship building thing is like not a go to this course, get this bit of paper, and then instantly have a job. It is a tricky one. Augustina, I would like more in the next courses about Figma Sites. I think Figma Sites needs to be its own complete course. And that is Affinity Designer. Figma Sites are like, they're right on the list of next things that I want to tackle. So Figma Sites, if you don't know, is just like a web making. So you take your Figma design and then turn it into an actual website. I've done a Webflow course. If you are ready for that, you can go to the Webflow course on Bring Your Laptop. But it's basically an alternative for Webflow. It is something that I really want to do, because it does give a lot of power to the designer to come and make, especially kind of a simple website. It doesn't require a whole lot of too much database logic. You can do some, but I'll note that one down. Thank you very much. Kailash, hey Dan, I have about 10 years experience in both front end and UX design. Excellent. I've been out of the UX market for about 5 years since COVID, wondering what's the best way to get back into UX. For you, I think you need to make sure you play up your both development and UX skills, because even if somebody does want a UX designer, you want to be able to explain that you can kind of complete a project, because then it goes from being 2 team members with a big handoff and a messy bit in the middle to one person who can deliver on both the design and the development side. So I would just make sure that my portfolio is very clear that I can both support this front part, which is probably the bit you're going to get involved in, and also the back end, and kind of play on. That's what I'd play on. And then I guess it's making sure you've got good portfolio projects, making sure they're clear about what your skills are and what you've done. And again, like I said before, it's about networking around, like if you've been out of the UX game for a while, you're probably in the development game, is to reach out to your network of people that you've worked for and say, this is the kind of work I'm looking for. If you know anybody, please put me in touch. If you need me, I think that's the best way to kind of find next steps of work, rather than definitely apply places, because you'll stand out because you can do both UX and development work. But I would be reaching out to anybody that you work for. It's hard though, right? hey, I need a job, is you've got to position it right, okay? But that is the awkward truth of it, is that you will probably find your next gig from, or your next job through the network you already have of people that know and like you and enjoy working with you. Ayo, I am new here and even new to UX UI design. I love having you here. Though I aspire to be a top-notch UX designer, where are the best methods to follow, please? I'd probably do the Figma Essentials course first. It doesn't even have to be mine, but get some basic UX like tool skills under your belt, because then you can practice making stuff, because that's what you're going to end up doing. And then it's about, like, while you're working, watching my tutorials, somebody else's tutorials, is writing down the words you don't understand and then figuring out those. Have a word of the day, go figure it out. What does this mean? You know, what does the user test actually entail? You know, when we're talking about accessibility, what the heck is accessibility, and you know, what does it mean? And just start building up your vocabulary along the side, and then you can decide like what the weaknesses are, what the strengths are, and then it's probably building some stuff. Okay, we've got design challenges on Bring Your Laptop. We can go back through the history of those, okay, and build some of the UX design projects there. There's a lot of class projects through the course as well. Yeah, that's my advice. Bernice, hey Dan. I've been a GD for 8 years, graphic designer, I think, and mostly worked with corporates, all on active NDAs. Oh no, I've been laid off in the past 6 months, having a hard time getting back. How do I start freelancing? Not a pro UX designer. So I guess, do you want to, if you want to get into UX design, it's basically case study projects, okay? Either do the course to get a portfolio piece, or go out and find, like the term's case studies, right? Go have a research of that. And what you do is you find something that you want to work on. It's great if you can find an actual client, you know, to practice on. So it might be your brother's, mum's, uncle's nephew that has a business and needs a website or an app or something like that, where you can build it that you've got a client, because then you bump into all the problems, overcome those problems, and that's what makes an experienced UX designer. It's not so much like how do you move it around the screen and how does it look, which if you've got 8 years of graphic design experience, you've got a super head start on a lot of people getting started in UX design, which is awesome. You just need to work out where, you know, the difference between managing a graphic design project and a UX design project. Often there are so many parallels with different names from graphic design to UX design. You're like, oh, okay, you know, you understand, I know what they're talking about now, just they call it this over here and they deal with it slightly differently. The biggest change probably from moving from graphic design to UX design for me, which was amazing. I loved the measurability of it all. It was kind of hard to detach myself from being graphic designer, prepared, sold the client, ta-da, it's done, to here you go, here's a best guess, and we're going to test it, and the users are going to destroy my design, and I'm going to have to go back and figure it out and change it. And so, did that answer your question? I don't know, I go off on little tangents. Jessica, do you think graphic designers will benefit from the Figma course, or is the course more tailored to UX UI designers? It is. I think every graphic designer has been asked to build a website in their life. So yes, go do Figma Essentials. It is such a relief. If you're kind of like, for me, I spent ages kind of like avoiding UX design, because it's like, no, that seems really hard. They feel like different people to me. I don't really understand. And then I got in there, I was like, oh, look at this. You know, a lot of it's the same. And then you can start delivering, you know, because like being a graphic designer is not like, it used to be print only, and then it was like digital, and digital designers were the evil ones taking our jobs. You're like, that's not real design. And then now graphic design is kind of huddled together, and it's like, doesn't matter if it's digital or print, we're all together as graphic designers, and UX design people are the other people, or motion graphic people are different people. What you'll find is, if you're anything like me, is that your color, typography, composition skills inside of this kind of like other subtopic of design is really exciting, because you get to, what it's most exciting about is you get to kind of like test your results against other, you know, test them against the world, okay? Against the world, for the world. But you get to kind of like, I'm trying to solve a problem. Excellent. I can see if, you know, I can run A/B tests to see whether my problem is better or worse than the last thing. often people end up doing redesigns and they're like, I made it better. And you're like, did you? You're not sure. You know, metrics got better. They did. Maybe they didn't. Whereas you can do it through UX design. I think it's just a really good skill for a designer to have, to be able to, at least, you don't have to do the full like to development stuff, but to be able to deliver on like branding or packaging or anything with a kind of a mock-up of how it would go digital, then maybe working with a UX designer or a developer to get it built. I think so. I was really excited to get in there. So yeah, I think you might do. Salam, what do you think the next step after the advanced course? After the advanced course, it depends on where you are, right? If you are just getting started, then it's a lot of building projects, finding those first clients. That's all you really need after that. Like in terms of the tools for Figma Advanced, that's kind of it. And then you've got to work on, you know, how to deal with clients, how to make a brief work, how does testing work, then you might look at building a website. So something like my Webflow course, okay, where you can build it as a visual designer and not have to know too much about code. It's quite, you know, WYSIWYG. It's more than like Webflow or Figma sites is more than just say Squarespace, where you're just picking a template and kind of going and just, you can't do much, right? Whereas Figma sites or Webflow, that is you actually taking your design and building it, making sure that it's responsive and actually outputting a website that's fully working at the end of it. So depends on where you want to go. If you want to stay in the more UX design side, then it's about practicing projects. If you want to get further in terms of technical skills, then it's about building websites after that. Or yeah. All right. Kuthanya. I'm a complete fresher thinking of getting into the field, so I could literally see a lot of people saying it's not the right time to choose it as the industry is so saturated. Any suggestions? I think the industry is saturated in the fact that there was a big empty hole before. So now you need to be, there was a time where people were scrambling for any old UX designer, so there was jobs for everybody. Now there's only jobs for people who are good. But that's kind of true of anything, anywhere. If you're a graphic designer, video editor, if you're a terrible video editor, you're probably not getting a lot of work. If you are, you know, if you are good with people, if you are, you know, enjoy the creative process, you're good at bringing people along for that design journey, there will be a job for you. So, you know, who knows where the industry is going to go? It's not going to zero. And I think what's going to happen is, like, there's not going to be Fiverr jobs, you know, those kind of like cheap transactional UX designers, but there's always going to be a job for people who are, you know, authentic, creative, can tell a story, have taste. That is always going to be true. That is, I guess that's my kind of answer to everyone's negativity around everything is saturated. Yes, there is more people than there are jobs. Is that true for every industry? I don't know. Let me know in the comments there what industry's got big holes in it. Just, I'd be interested as well if you're like, oh, my industry has, like, we're desperate for people. So it is more saturated, but it's probably back to normal for the design industry. Like, do we have too many graphic designers? For sure. Do lots of people live and work in the graphic design industry? They do. Okay, so I don't know. That's my advice. Olivia, what are we at? We're doing some good time. We'll go for another. Taylor, do you want to queue up? There's so many good questions. Normally we run out of questions and I'm asking myself questions, but this has been really good. So we'll answer a couple more questions. Taylor, you want to make sure the next three are the ones that you want to be answered and not something that I've answered before. Or if they're fine in that queue, that's all right. So Olivia, I've noticed a few of your custom Figma designer shirts. Do you consider ever creating merch for them? Oh, I really want to. I really do. So there's this one, the one you saw in the intro there. I really want to. I don't know. I'm so busy making courses. So I should. This one particular I like. We could do a run of these. What I'd probably, in my head, because I'm a designer. I want to make t-shirts. It's like Adobe Max. I bought a load of other people's t-shirts. I'm like, I want to make my own. I ran a t-shirt, t-shirt company way back when, about 20 years ago. No, 15 years ago. Maybe even longer. But what I'll do is probably do a pre-sale, and the people that buy them, if we get enough, we'll run it. That's probably what we'll do, rather than just kind of like buying as you want. We had a store for a while, and it was just dribs and drabs, and it was more hassle than it was worth. I think the way to do it is like get everybody into this Figma Advanced course, everyone see the different t-shirts, and then we'll do a pre-order. I'm talking a lot. Let's go back to something else. All right, warning. Can't believe it's been already 2 years. It's already more than 2 years, man. Just when I just started, I used to watch your Figma tutorials. Man, your videos helped me a lot. Thanks for the videos, mate. You're very welcome, Warnie. Marina, hey Dan. This was the fastest, most effective way to rebuild my Figma skills. Create a portfolio from scratch, land my first UX client, and even if I'm starting... Oh, let me do that one again. Hey Dan, what's the fastest... Got to read all the words. What's the fastest, most effective way to rebuild my Figma skills? Create a portfolio from scratch and land my first UX clients, even if I'm starting again after a long break. I think you just did it. You've got to build your portfolio. Okay. If you've got existing work, dig that out, clean it up. Don't just dump in old stuff that you had. That, like, it's okay to have, like, I remember my portfolio way back when. I haven't had to build one for a long time, because I self-employ myself. But best advice I got from a freelance recruiter was that I had stuff in my portfolio that I'd done, and I'd just done this. I've been asked to do just this little thing. And you're like, I stuck in my portfolio because it was a big name company. But then the advice was like, take that thing, flesh it out, and make it something more useful. Like, fill the brief better than you delivered on that particular project. So if you've got old projects and they're just like, they're not going to, freshen them up, get them good, explain what the brief was, explain what the goals were, and bring them back to life if they're kind of old and stale. Okay, remodel them, remake them. They were past clients. Okay, that's what I would do. Just kind of like fill in the bits that weren't missing. You're like, they only asked me to do a homepage. Do the homepage, the shopping cart, and everything else to kind of fill it out. And then it's about case studies, really. Better yet is try and find work, that you might be able to do, at, people hate me saying this. Well, I don't know. I feel like it's against the norm of like, don't discount. I find you need to get over the hump of getting work. You need to probably discount, okay? And make sure that the trick though is like, let's say that you know somebody that needs something, and they know, they can't afford your full rate at this stage, but you need the work for portfolio. So like a chicken and egg thing, you found somebody, you need to do the work. The way to position it is, yes, I can do the work. It's normally this price, okay? Whatever it is, if it's 10 grand, or 5 grand or 20 grand, whatever it is, it's normally this. But for you, because I need a great piece from my portfolio, you seem like a really good client. I think we can make beautiful work here, and it's going to help me get and I'm going to do it for this price. Because then they feel like they're getting a value for this like massive big, they're getting a 10 grand job for whatever price you feel like it will work for them. So that you get a portfolio piece, you're getting paid, but also it's just getting that like specific job of somebody who's actually real. But you don't want to just say, all right, it's going to be $1,000. And you're doing the discount in your head, because they'll go, all right, $10,000. I'm going to, and then when you're getting the work, they're going to push you for the exact same, amount of work. They're not going to know that they're getting a, discounted deal, and kind of you're doing them a favor. Okay. You want to make sure that the dynamic, designers have a trick of like discounting in their head before the client even sees like, I'll take it down a little bit. I'll take it down a little bit more when you're trying to send the invoice, right? Like, oh, no. Okay. Whereas you can, especially, you need to do it early on. Doing it at the end, you're still screwed. But if you do it at the beginning, this is what it normally costs. But because I like you, because I want this job, and because, all of these reasons. I'm going to do it for this, just for this job, okay? Because I think it's going to be an exciting job for me, and it's something that I want to push my portfolio into so that they know it's like getting something on sale. Whatever it is, if you got my, I'm trying to think, my phone, okay? It's like a $800 phone. If I got it for $400 because of a super duper discount, I'll tell people it's an $800 phone, because it is. I just happened to got it for $200. So the value is still $800. I just happened to got a deal. All right, that, my friends, is going to be us. We've been at it for 50 minutes. And what I want to do is just remind you that we're up here. My Figma Advanced course has just gone live like 50 minutes ago on bringyourownlaptop.com. Black Friday is coming up. I didn't want you to go sign up for the course now and then figure out there's a sale later on. Okay, I wanted to give you, if you're here for the live stream, I'm going to give you the sneak discount code. It's BF2025. If you put that in when you're signing up, you will get 30% off. So go do that at Bring Your Own Laptop. Figma Advanced out now. That is it. Now I got to try and remember how to turn this off. All right, everyone. I will see you later. I think I found it. There's the button. Can I get it with the other hand? Again, not. Smooth. Oh, I got to hit it twice.